Dear students, we have been discussing about childhood mental disorders. In the last class, we have seen mental retardation, then pervasive developmental disorders like autism, and also learning, communication, and motor skill disorders. Today, we are going to study about attention deficit and disruptive behavior disorders in children. Attention deficit and disruptive behavior disorders, they are the most commonly diagnosed disorders of childhood, and these disorders, they often do not disappear as children mature, and they can be continued into adulthood if they are not properly addressed and cared during childhood. Children with these disorders commonly act in ways that are so disruptive and provocative to others. They will behave very much provocative to others, so that the adults or the caretakers and the parents, they will respond with anger, impatience, or avoidance, and this will create more distress in the children, and they will behave more disruptively and provocatively. These are the attention deficit and disruptive behavior disorders found in children, that is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which is commonly called ADHD, then conduct disorder and oppositional defiant disorder. Let us see the details of these disorders one by one. First is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD. The ADHD disorder, it is characterized by inattentiveness and hyperactivity or impulsivity. These are the important characteristics of ADHD. The different symptoms of ADHD can be broadly categorized into these heads, that is inattention or lack of attention, then hyperactivity or impulsivity. Inattention is characterized by the following symptoms, which can persist for at least 6 months. The children with ADHD, they are inattentive and they make careless mistakes and they fail to attend to details. If they are given a task, they will make mistakes because of their carelessness. They will not pay attention to the instructions which are given to them, and they will make careless mistakes, and they will not listen to what is being told. In the class also, they will not listen to what the teacher is teaching, and to the parents also they will show the same inattention, that is they will not give attention to the words of the parents. They will not follow through on instructions or responsibilities. If they are assigned a task, they will not follow through the instructions. Then the children with ADHD, they have difficulty in organizing activities. If they are given a task, they fail to do the task successfully because they have inability in organizing the activities. And they also tend to avoid tasks which require sustained mental effort because they cannot concentrate on a particular thing for a long period, and because of that they try to avoid tasks which require sustained mental effort. Then ADHD children, they loses items necessary for tasks. They do not have all the requirements to do a task. Then they are easily distracted because they cannot concentrate, and they are easily distracted and they often forget things. The ADHD children, they show hyperactivity or impulsivity. ADHD children, they often fidgets and squirms. That means they often move their body, hands or feet, and they often wriggle or twist their body. All these movements show that they are restless or they are impatient, because they cannot pay attention to the instructions which are given to them. They cannot concentrate on a particular task and they are getting easily distracted, and these distractions are exhibited by the movements of the body or the hand or the feet. They show their lack of concentration by being restless or impatient. Then ADHD children, they often leave the seat inappropriately. While in the class, these ADHD children, they often leave the seat, they run, jump or climb excessively when it is not permitted. ADHD children, they often find difficulty in engaging leisure activities, and they are often on the go. That means they are like as if they are driven by a motor. These ADHD children, they will always be moving or running or jumping, and it is like they are driven by a motor. ADHD children, they talk excessively. They will not pay attention to what is being told to them, but they talk excessively. And in the classroom, they often blurts out answers before the question is being completed. They cannot wait for their turn. While in the classroom, if a teacher is asking questions and they cannot wait for their turn and they will blurt out answers. And if the teacher is correcting the notebooks of students, these ADHD children, they cannot wait for their turn, and they often interrupt or intrude. If a person is talking to them, they will not pay attention to the words of the person, but they will often interrupt or intrude and try to express their thoughts and ideas. That is hyperactivity or impulsivity, which is shown by ADHD children. The next disorder which is found in children is conduct disorder. Conduct disorder is repetitive and persistent violation of the rights of other people. Children with conduct disorder, they will not care about the rights of other people, and they will violate society's norms or laws, and they will always create problems to others. Children with conduct disorder, they will steal the things which are belonging to other people. And these children, they show truancy, that is, without any proper reason, they will be absent from the school. Then they show the tendency to run away from home. The children with conduct disorder, even if they are scolded by their parents for a small reason, they will run away from home. These children with conduct disorder, they often tell lies, and they have the tendency to destroy things. They show the behavior of fire setting. They show physical cruelty to people and animals. And these children with conduct disorder, when they reach adolescence, they will show sexual assault. They will attack other people and rob things from people, that is mugging. These children, they show the tendency to abuse alcohol and drugs. When they are caught, they will deny their guilt and they blame others for the guilt. Whatever be the consequences of their action, they do not have any regret. These are the symptoms of conduct disorder. The next behavioral disorder in children is oppositional defiant disorder. In short, it is called ODD. It is a pattern of negative, hostile and defiant behavior that result in significant family or school problems. This disorder is much more extreme than the common rebelliousness faced during adolescence. You know that during adolescence, normally children, they show rebellious attitude towards the parents and the adults, but this oppositional defiant disorder, it is crossing the limits and it is much more extreme than the common rebelliousness shown during adolescence. Oppositional defiant disorder is characterized by a defiant or disobedient and hostile attitude which is beginning in the childhood or in the adolescence. Children with ODD, they often lose their temper and they argue with adults and they actively defy or refuse to obey the rules which are set by the adults. They will deliberately annoy others and they blame others for the faults. They are easily annoyed and they become angry often, and they are often spiteful and vindictive. That means they often have a desire to hurt others and also they have the desire for taking revenge on others. These are the characteristic symptoms of oppositional defiant disorder. We have discussed about attention deficit and disruptive behavior disorders found in children. Next, we are going to discuss about another behavioral disorder which is found in children. It is separation anxiety disorder. The children with separation anxiety disorder, they have intense and inappropriate anxiety concerning separation from home or caregivers. This you may be familiar, you might have experienced in your own life, or you might have seen this in the life of other children. Children are often emotionally very much attached to their parents or to their caregivers. As infants develop in the first year of life, they develop an emotional attachment to their parents, and when they are separated from their parents, they easily get distressed. And this is quite normal in the case of small kids. But as children grow up, they often overcome this separation anxiety. But in the case of some children, the separation anxiety will continue and develop as a disorder. These are the diagnostic features of separation anxiety disorder. Recurrent excessive distress when they anticipate separation from home, parents or important attachment figures. You might have noticed small children, they show impatience and they show distress when the parents are getting ready to go to office. Then children anticipate the separation from parents, or children when they are asked to get ready for school, they anticipate a separation from home and they show distress. Children with separation anxiety disorder, they often worry that some harm will take place to their loved ones or to their parents and they will lose their parents. Then these children, they often have a worry that they might be kidnapped and they will get separated from the parents. Quite often, parents and adults are also responsible for developing these kinds of disorders in the children, because during childhood, most of the parents, they tell their kids that somebody will come and kidnap their children if they are not having food or if they are not obeying their parents. So like that, an anxiety will develop in children that they might get kidnapped and they will get separated from their parents. These children, they refuse to go to school because if they go to school, they have the anxiety that they will get separated from their parents. Because of the fear of separation, they refuse to go to school. Then these children, they will not sit alone in a place and they have fear if they are separated from their loved ones even for a short duration of time. They always like to be in company of their parents or their caregivers. they will not go to sleep if they are not accompanied by their parents. They want their parents to be nearby for going to sleep. And if they are going to sleep without their parents, they often have the experience of nightmares involving separation. Then children with anxiety disorder, they often complain about physical symptoms like pain. Children often complain that they have fever, they have stomach pain, or they have toothache when they are asked to get ready for school. All these physical symptoms they express or they feel because of the anxiety that they have to be separated from their parents or they have to be separated from the home if they are to go to school. With that, we have finished the behavioral disorders which are commonly found in children. Thank you.